I'm Steve Naylor. I am a disciple of Jesus Christ. I've been married to Jessica, my high school sweetheart, for about 11 years now, and we've been together for about 16. About 3 or 4 years into our marriage, we started talking about what we wanted to do as far as having a family, and we started trying on our own and went through a couple years of that, and things just weren't happening. So we started going down the route of getting help from a fertility specialist, and they diagnosed us as infertile, and they said even with their help we would probably only have a 2% chance of conceiving a baby. So that was devastating to us, and we knew that, you know, adoption was another option for us, and we had talked about that. So a month later we finished our part of the process, and we were told at that point it's probably going to be about 18 months until we got matched up with a birth mother. So our prayer at that point was patience. 3 days later, on Monday, Jessica got a call from our adoption agency saying, "We have a birth mother that wants to talk to you that just received your information on Saturday." We further found out that she was expecting twins, a boy and a girl, in November, so three months later. We got an awesome phone call the next day saying Angela had selected us to be the adoptive parents to her twin boy and girl. And we welcomed into the world Max and Charlie, and 3 days after that we were able to bring them home to our house and just begin our family together. 8 weeks after the kids were born, I decided to head to Orlando and leave Jess and the kids behind for a week, which was probably not the right decision, but I had a work conference that I needed to be down there for. Jessica called in tears, frantic beyond belief. I could barely understand what she was saying, and I did make out the important message that she had to tell me was, there's something wrong with Max and the paramedics are at our house right now. At 2:30 that morning, I got a call from my mom saying that they'd done a bunch of tests on Max and found out he had a brain bleed, and they immediately transferred him to a larger hospital with a ICU. So I immediately got on a plane the next morning and came home. After we all shared some tears and hugs together, they explained to me what they'd been through that morning while I was traveling back. The neurosurgeon came into the room before I got there and explained to Jessica and our moms that Max's head bleed was caused by some sort of blunt trauma, and just showed them that it had to have been some forceful action of taking a baby and hitting it against something. And he went on to say DCFS is involved, and it's going to be a grueling process. The DCFS caseworker was there 2 hours later and explained to us very bluntly that we're going to be put under a DCFS safety plan, meaning during this time, while the investigation goes on, we would have to find alternate care for the kids. You know, we spent the next 45 days living apart and just pouring hours and hours into trying to figure out what had caused this. We knew it obviously was not child abuse, but to be, you know, accused, investigated for something so unimaginable for us, having been through what we had been through to even have these kids, was just mind-boggling. So we finally got another doctor on board to give us a written second opinion that, based on the shape and size of Max's head and brain, that it could have been caused by just some sort of jostle that could have caused the blood vessel to break, and it didn't have any sort of lasting implications, so we were thankful for that. Fast forward, February 11th, I got a call at work from Jessica. "Steve, the investigation is over. We have Max and Charlie again. We can go home." And the emotions were uncontrollable. I had to get up and shut my door so I could cry with Jess on the phone. And God had protected us every step of the way, and He has rewarded us, and He is allowing us to go back home and to be the parents that Max and Charlie need us to be. And ever since then, we've started talking about what else we want to do to build our family further. We started talking about another adoption along the way, and we ended up putting that on hold for a little bit to put an addition on our house. About halfway through the construction process, God gave us something amazing, and it was a positive pregnancy test, something that we had never seen in our life, something that we'd never experienced. And 2 weeks ago tomorrow, we welcomed into our life Eliana Grace. And we chose her name for a very specific reason. It means the Lord has responded. And if we look back over the past 6 years or so, he has truly responded. He brought us through so much pain and suffering and uncertainty and stress, and he showed us that by being obedient to him and following what the Spirit had led us to do with adoption, he had the whole thing figured out.